The stakes for the Milwaukee Bucks this upcoming season is incredibly high. The reason why and what they're going to do about it is what we're going to talk about in today's video. But first, I want to remind you guys, if you want to see your team's NBA outlook, make sure you subscribe with the notification bells on, because I'm uploading daily, guys. It's a great channel for the NBA talk. Now, getting straight into the video, obviously the stakes for the Milwaukee Bucks are incredibly high. Giannis is an unrestricted free agent after this season, the back-to-back MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, 25 years old, not even in his prime yet. The Greek Freak is going to be a free agent after this season, and whether he signs a 5-year Supermax extension is still in the air. The Bucks had a very interesting offseason where they gave up a ton to go and build this championship team for Giannis to convince him to stay, and if they did it or not is what we're going to talk about. So the Bucks obviously brought in Jrue Holiday and some other free agents, lost a few guys that they didn't really want to lose. The big thing now that ponders is like what the effects of the Bogdanovich trade falling through is. I think that Giannis was very disappointed by that. According to Bleacher Report, it lessened the chances of the Bucks retaining Giannis. But I don't believe Bleacher Report talked to Giannis about that or anything. But I honestly like keeping DiVincenzo. But here's the thing. Jrue Holiday was acquired for Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, and a bucket of first-round picks, 5 to be exact, with 2 of them being pick swaps. So everything is riding on the season, not only the back-to-back MVP, but really the future of this team. Because if you don't see Giannis on this team, you see these high-value draft picks in New Orleans' pockets and not in ours. It'll be incredibly, incredibly hard to rebuild if Giannis were to leave at this point. Not only that, Jrue Holiday's on an expiring contract. So at the end of the season, really, if you were to see Jrue Holiday decline his player option, if you were to see Giannis walk away, you'd be left with Chris Middleton on a massive deal and Donte DiVincenzo to build around, and that's just too little. You won't have any draft picks. It'll be incredibly hard to restart. So obviously I'm going to go through the lineup. Jrue Holiday at the 1, amazing 3-and-D guy, perfect fit. Donte DiVincenzo at the 2, an amazing playmaker for this team that they need. Can really shoot the ball well. He's a streaky shooter though, but I do expect to see him as he gets more comfortable. This is going to be his 3rd year now. I expect him to take a big jump. I wouldn't be surprised if he's averaging 14 this year or something of that matter. Chris Middleton at the 3, obviously the ultra-efficient small forward. Giannis at the 4, and Brook Lopez Splash Mountain at the 5 can really stretch the floor. So glad they didn't trade this piece because he blocks shots and he stretches the floor like no other center in the league, and that's exactly what you need. This starting lineup right here, to me, this is a championship starting 5. At least it'll make the finals to me. Obviously, I think that Lakers team is unbeatable, but this starting 5 right here is good enough to get them out of the East if the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets can't beat them. I think with those 3, it's a toss-up. But the bench is where they lost a lot of their talent. They didn't really retain many people. They signed DJ Augustin, Bryn Forbes, re-signed Pat Connaughton, got Bobby Portis, and then they don't have a 5, but they also brought in Torrey Craig. So definitely some solid bench pieces. They got Bobby Portis and DJ Augustin for relatively cheap for their value, both of them. DJ Augustin can really shoot and play make off the bench. It's good for them. Bryn Forbes is a great shooter. We saw him come in now into his 4th year. He's been amazing for the Spurs, and now he's on the Bucks. Pat Connaughton was a nice re-signing. Bobby Portis for the Knicks played really, really well last year. Now he's on a $3.5 million deal. Definitely a steal there. And Torrey Craig is an amazing role player. But does this bench do enough for them? I think the Bucks general manager, John Horst, is forcing Coach Bud to play the starters. We saw that in the playoffs last year. The starters weren't played as much as they should have been. It might have cost them in the series against the Miami Heat. And that was a big teller. And obviously they built a very, very strong starting 5. It looks like they went all out for the starting 5. Signed pretty much 2 really actually solid bench pieces, and they left it to that. Looks like Coach Bud is going to have to actually coach this team in the playoffs and really make serious decisions about his depth in his lineup, because this 10-man rotation, this 9-man rotation won't get the job done. Absolutely no way. This 7-man rotation, maybe an 8-man rotation. Obviously, in the regular season, it'll be different. It'll be a 9-man rotation. In the playoffs, you run a 7-man, 8-man rotation. This team is going to make it out of the East. That's if Kevin Durant, according to my other outlooks, right? Kevin Durant doesn't come back like Kevin Durant. And that on the court, to me, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant won't work. Plus 2 cancers in the locker room. And then Boston, I do expect them to be very, very close to coming out of the East. I feel like this could go to 7 with them. Miami's going to be another tough challenge because, again, they're so deep. They lost some depth. They also got some depth. It's incredibly difficult now to make it out of the East. There's also going to be a ton of teams fighting for a playoff spot. This next upcoming season is going to be incredibly interesting. There's so much riding for so many teams, and especially this Milwaukee Bucks team, who has the best player in the league right now. And if they don't make it out of the East, it's very possible that he's walking away. I think it's a toss-up between them and Boston and possibly Brooklyn or Miami. That's a lot of teams to toss it up between. I think this team loses in the Eastern Conference Finals. Giannis walks away and probably goes to Miami. I'm sorry, Bucks fans. I'm one of yours. Okay, I'm one of yours. But I genuinely think that Giannis will have to walk away, and the teller is because they didn't re-sign Brogdon, and they didn't go into luxury tax again. And now we're feeling the pain from that. I think that would have been a huge thing for him. I think he would have signed the extension had we brought Brogdon in, but now we don't have Brogdon. And you know who'd be perfect for this team? Malcolm Brogdon. So definitely rough for us Bucks fans. I'm in a world of anxiety for this, and I really hope the Bucks win. But if the Bucks don't win, you can't come back here and say I was just super biased towards the Bucks. I think that they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They'll lose in 7 to Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics because that team is just too deep. Miami is just too deep. Philly even could match up with them and beat them. So I'm very nervous, but it's going to be a super interesting NBA season with so much riding on this team, and this team being either a possible 1 seed, a possible 4 seed, we don't know. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment your favorite team down below, and I'll try to get that outlook out as the next one. And I'll see you guys, alright? Peace.